Hello and welcome back to a new video by the Devscorch platform. My name is Johan and I will be your host in this video. Alright, so in the last video we have been figuring out why we couldn't retrieve our get selected object from the session. And I finally figured it out, and it was really a stupid mistake on my part. So when we go here to the session model, as you can see, there is one thing that we actually forgot. We actually forgot to add the status of the of the session, so if it is actually published or not. And this is really bad. I totally forgot about it. I'm really sorry. So yeah, we actually have to add the status. So when we go to the status, and we're actually gonna do create dto.status, else if that is empty, we're gonna do status enum draft.raw value. So this is the biggest problem, because we totally forgot to add this one. I think next argument status and call. Let me go to session model really quick. So we have here the status. Let's check the initializer. And yeah, as I thought, we actually forgot to add the status to the initializer. So this is going to be status enum.raw value. And yeah, this is actually a really stupid mistake, but this is actually how coding works. You make mistakes like this. So when we add this one and we go back, so when we start or when we restart the API, and we can actually now it's building, so we can actually go back to here. So let's say we create a new session, right? Still building. Okay, it's running. So let's say UI kit for complete beginners, and then we're gonna explain like storyboards by example, and the status is gonna be published. When we send this, oh, 1 second, we have to delete this one first. So when we send this, so this is created. Now we can actually go to selected course, and we can actually change the this one to storyboard by example. So when we do it like this and we can send, okay, so here it actually says could not find session with slug of storyboard by example. Okay, so something went wrong again. Let's go to here. We're actually going to do get request on all the sessions, and then we have the second one, and as you can see the status is published. So let me see, let me copy this one really quick, because maybe we made a writing error. Just like this, and we're going to send it, and now it actually works. So yeah, that is actually a really stupid mistake. We actually spent like a lot of the last video on this one, and yeah, now this actually works. So this actually means that this system works, so we don't have to worry about this one anymore. And let's go to the let's go really quick to the article model, to the article service, because we actually are using the same system for this, right? So let me see, get selected object. Okay, let's go to create. And yeah, we actually are using status here, so that's okay. And yeah, so theoretically, let's go back to the routes really quick. Slug.article and route parameter article raw value. I think we actually have to fix this one really quick. Let's go to selected object. Okay, so that's the article slug. Now I don't know if this one is actually already changed. Yeah, okay, so that one is actually fixed. And then we're gonna do the get selected object. Yes, perfect. So if we have actually already implemented it in the routes and it works on the courses as well, then it will work there as well, because it's actually the same system. Pretty cool. So now we fixed actually we almost fixed everything that we wanted to fix. Now we go actually back to the student middleware, and we're going to change .admin back to .student. Perfect. So now if the student is actually registered and he is actually a student, then we can actually say like, okay, this is your, you can go here and you can actually do whatever the hell you want. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna do one more sweep on the routes part to see if we have actually secured everything. And we can actually change this one to the basic auth group. And this one as well. We can actually change this one to basic auth group as well. Pretty cool. And yeah, so this actually works. And let me check this one more time. Okay. Okay, so actually everything for the frontend is finished. So this actually means that we almost we're almost finished with the CMS part, so with actually the content management system. And there is one more thing that I want to create, and that's like let me see really quick. Okay, so there's one more thing we need to do, and that is actually like creating the content management system where we can actually check if a course or an article or something else has to be created, right? Or actually has to be published when they have a publish date. So I've been Googling this, and what we actually can use, I think, is this. So this is called job queues. This has been written in 2020, yeah, 2020. But I expect that this also works for Vapor 4. So we're gonna try this out. So instead of writing a system, we're actually gonna write like queues, and we're actually gonna create jobs for this. So we're gonna use Redis, and Redis is like a database that actually spans, or that can actually span over multiple servers and over multiple memory lanes. And this is actually gonna be really interesting because we're actually gonna import two new systems. So I'm gonna put this on the side. So the whole idea about this is actually that we have like this little job worker, and that runs every second. And we're actually gonna run this on like when you have like the CPU, we're actually gonna run this on like a low thread. So this actually means that on the in the background, every second or every 5 seconds, it's actually gonna check if there is like this date that is actually the same as the date of today and the time. And when it's the same, it's actually gonna change the status of an article to published. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. And for that, we actually need to import something, not Devscorch. So in here, we're actually gonna paste a package that is gonna be this package. It's the Redis package. And I think we also need another package for queue. I think that's this one. Let me check really quick if we need to import it. I don't think we do. So in the dependencies, we're actually gonna add .product name. Name is gonna be Redis, and the package is gonna be Redis. So now this is imported, and we go to our configure, and theoretically now we can actually import Redis. Okay, so this is Redis stack, type, stack, and stack utils, and let's see what we need. And we need to import queues, but I think we actually have to get queues from yeah, we actually have to import queues as well from GitHub. So let me check really quick. Probably gonna be, I think it's this one. Okay, so apparently yes it is. So we go back to our package. In here we're gonna put in another package, and this is the queues redis driver.git from version 1.1. And we're also gonna add the dependency. Let me check. targets dot product. Oh my god. Product. Name. So the name is gonna be US Redis driver. And then we're gonna have the package. And the package is gonna be the same. US dash, oh, let's make this a string. So US dash Redis dash driver. Just like this. Let's save this. This static member product cannot be used in instance. Yes, it can. What's this? Replace product name with target dependency. Okay, so it fixed itself probably. So then we go to configure. In here we're actually gonna call for, let me check really quick, because I'm working with the documentation and never done this before, so this is actually something new. QS. This is still complaining. Why is it still complaining? No such module. Search. See if we can find it. No, it's not now. Of course not. It's not in here. We actually have to get it from the paper. And let's see. There's a package problem somewhere probably. Let's save this. Let's clean it. Yeah, clean it. Okay, so theoretically this should work now. Let's go back to configure really quick. Okay, so import queues works now. And we're also going to do import queues Redis driver. And the first thing we're going to do, we're actually going to, after auto migrate, we're actually going to make a new mark. And we're actually going to call this a Redis setup. Then we're going to do try app.use. .use, and the provider is going to be a URL double point. I think this is how it works here as well. So Redis double point slash 127.0.0.1 double point, and we're going to do 6379 6379. So this is the Redis server. So as stated before, Redis is like it's a database type that actually runs into memory and can actually run over multiple servers. And it's actually really useful if you need some really fast information. Let me check. Okay, so we don't need URL, only a string. I don't believe that. Okay, let me check the documentation one more time. Ah, I see it. I already see what's happening. So we can actually Command X this. We're gonna do .redis URL. Now it works. So we actually forgot the .redis. This is what happens when you're actually reading outdated tutorials. It's actually really bad. But yeah, for the other side, why not, right? Okay, let's see. So let's first set up Redis. So we're actually going to open up Docker. If I'm not mistaken, I already have a Redis server running. No, I don't. Okay, then we're going to open up the terminal. Then we're actually I'm gonna copy this one. I'm gonna copy this command, docker-compose run-p 6379. And that's actually the same one as we used there. That's okay. Again, run it. Okay, can't find suitable configuration file in this directory or any parent. Are you in the right directory? Okay, so we're gonna use something. We're gonna try something else, because apparently the docker compose doesn't work. So we can actually try docker run Redis, then Redis -d Redis. Let's see if this works. Ah, wait a second, this has to be name. Name. Okay, so now Redis, we have the Redis working, that's this one. Let me see if we can also see on which port. CLI. Close that one. And okay, so it's actually standardly running on 6379, so that's okay. Let me see. So we already started. Okay, so let's see. So we have two different things here. We can do app.queue start and progress jobs or start scheduled jobs. So the whole idea is actually that we're gonna check like every second or every minute if there is actually content that has to be launched, right? So let me see. Dispatching your first job. Let's see how they do it. So creating a recipient welcome email job. Okay, so we don't need that. Actually don't need that as well. DQ. Okay. Okay, so scheduling jobs. Create a new file, send a letter to job. Inside the jobs folder, now insert. Okay, so we have to create a job. So this one, something like this. But we don't need the struct, right? So okay. So let's go to here. Let's close some stuff. That one can close, that one can close, this one can close, this also, and also. So we're gonna in app, we're actually gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna call this jobs. And command new file. And we're gonna call this publish job. Just like this. Okay. And we're gonna do import Vapor, import Fluent, import Redis, use Redis driver, import queues. Okay, so how they do this? They do struct publish job. This is going to be of type job, just like this. Open this one up. And okay, so it's actually gonna complain about the protocol stubs. Okay, the payload. Let me think. So the payload is probably model. It does accept that, that's okay. And then we're gonna run the other type aliases. Okay, so we have three different serialized payload and we have DQ. Okay, let's run this. Let's see what happens. We fix this all. Sure, fix this as well. Okay, so let's check the documentation really quick. Let's see what that says. Okay, so it actually says the same as, and I don't understand why it's all in Dutch at some point. What's this? Let's throw it in English. Okay, so sending emails, no. Performing complex long-running database operations. This is actually one that we could do. I mean, this is actually not bad. Okay, so this is the config. Okay, so we can actually call this one. Or this one. Yeah, we can actually do scheduled jobs, but we're gonna look at that later. So let's see the job protocol. Jobs are defined by the job or async job protocol. Okay, so first we're gonna change this around. So we're actually gonna delete this stuff. We're actually gonna make this async. Async job. It's probably gonna complain about the Okay, so here it actually says payload, but we don't want to create a payload of email because we're not gonna do anything with email. So it uses DQ and it uses error in this one. Okay, so the payload, instead of email, I actually want to make it a status. Right? Dispatching jobs, yeah, we don't need to look at that. This is where you would send the email, payload. Now let's see if we can actually make the payload. Let's see if we can make this like an type alias is equal to payload of a type alias payload equal to HTTP status. Let's see if that works. So first we're going to add DQ. We're going to add the async throw version. And the next one we're going to add error. Going to add that one, func error. And this should be anything, right? Yes, okay. So according what I understand, so this is actually where we do the job, right? So what we could do here, let me think. Okay, so in the DQ we actually create a job what we want to do, right? So let's see. This is where you would send the email. Yeah, but we're not gonna send the email because we actually want to do something else. So let's see what they are doing. The context, welcome, blah blah blah. Send welcome email to payload.to. Greet the user as payload name. Okay. This doesn't really help, does it? This doesn't really help, does it? Okay, so instead of rec, maybe we could just loot. Let's see if this works. So let's say guides equal to try await guide model dot query. I just want to do query on context. I'm sure it's gonna fail. Let's see. As database. Oh, is that possible? As database? No, that's probably not on database. No. Okay, so the whole idea is actually that we check all the systems, and we actually run this like every 5 seconds. And the whole idea is that we actually check. Oh, wait a second, maybe we can actually do it like this. No, wait. Are we allowed to create an extra function? Func check. Let's see if we're allowed. We're probably not because it's not part of the async job protocol. Okay, yes we are. Okay, so what we can do, func query. Then we can do underscore rec of request. Just like this. We can actually do async throws. Async throws. And we're gonna throw a model. Right? Let's see if this works. No, this I already had an idea. Let's make this HTTP status. So let's say we want to do let guides equal to try wait guide model dot content dot query on rec.db dot filter / dot publish date. Oh, we need a $sign there. Then we can actually do is equal to date, just like this. We're gonna do dot all. Let me check. And theoretically we could actually do something like I think, and we could like go guides dot not empty. That is probably not working. So okay, so we actually filter on the date. Maybe not, huh? Maybe we're not gonna filter. We could actually just filter on the status. So we can actually do like instead of this, we're actually gonna do we're actually gonna filter on status. So status is equal to status enum dot planned dot raw value dot all. Then we're gonna do try await. No, we don't need to do that. Then we can actually do if guide dot. Oh, this is also a problem because we're actually gonna get them all. Dot publish date. Let's see. No, that's not gonna work. The problem is here we actually have to do like a for in, so we can actually do for I in guides. If I dot publish date is equal to date, then we're gonna do cannot be applied to operands type of date. Why not? Oh, we need this one like this. Then we actually can do I dot status is equal to status enum dot published dot raw value, and then we're actually gonna do I dot save on rec.db, just like this. Oh, of course we have to do try await I dot save result of operator. Oh, we have to make this is equal to like this, and try with I dot save. And we actually don't need like another one, so we can actually add the next one, and let's just copy and paste this one. Then we can do enter. Then guides gonna be articles. I'm gonna do article model. Okay. And we can also copy and paste the for in. I'm not sure if this is actually the right way to code this, but we're just trying stuff around, right? Articles. Okay. So let's see if we can actually copy this whole thingy, and we're also going to do the same for courses. So this is going to be courses, then course model. Okay, then for I in courses. Okay, then we're gonna paste the last one. And that's gonna be sessions. So sessions, session model, sessions. Okay, then we have, what are we returning? We're actually returning an HTTP status. So we can actually do after this one, we can do return dot. Okay. Okay, so maybe this doesn't look like the most optimal way of coding, because we actually just query the data. We're actually just bombarding the database with queries all the time. But we can actually see if this works. Okay. So then in DQ, let's see what the response is. Oh, we have to add that. Let me see. Already have that. Creating recipient email. And okay, so here we actually don't need to do. We can actually. I think we can just do like a call, try await, query, rec.db. We don't need to do that. We just have to call. We can actually call query. No, we can't. Oh my god. or request. Maybe just like this. Yeah, of course. So we can't actually call rec because this doesn't really does a request, right? And we probably can't change the DQ as well. It's probably gonna complain about that. So let's see what happens if we do let rec. It's gonna be of request, and then we're just gonna call rec. Maybe this works. I don't know. Probably not. Result of call to query is unused. Yeah, that's okay. Then we're gonna do return. You know what? Let's actually give this a value. So let query equal to try rate query, and then we're gonna do return query, just like this. Theoretically, this should be okay. Oh, what we could do actually, before the func, we can actually call discardable func. I think it was discardable, wasn't it? Add discardable result func. And instead of return, we don't need a return value, that we can actually just do try rate query. And now actually this function should be not complaining. That's good. And for the easiness to check if this actually works, we're gonna add a print here, print guides, just to make sure. Okay, so it's not complaining or crashing, so theoretically this should work. Theoretically. Okay, so let's go to our let's see, let recipient job. Okay, so here we're actually registering the job, right? So we go to configure.swift, and under here we're actually gonna create mark jobs setup, and we can actually do let publish job equal to publish job, just like this, right? That's how they did it as well. Okay, then app use.add. Then under here we're gonna do app.use.add publish job, and then let's see scheduling. Okay, so I see that I actually do something like we do here, but here that's actually called a scheduled job instead of job. Let me see. Okay, so when we actually use it like a scheduled job, we can actually give the timer as well. Okay, you know what? Let's adapt this. So scheduled, then it's probably publish job, but it's actually gonna be async scheduled job. And it's probably gonna complain. Where do you think? Okay, so it also needs run. So then we don't need the DQ because we actually just run it, right? Wait, let me check really quick. Send newsletter job. Okay, so this sends it. Oh no, this gets the newsletter job. Okay, so that actually means that we don't need the DQ, I think. We also don't need error. In here we only need, instead of request, we're actually gonna call on DB. This is gonna be database. Then we can actually just do .db, I think. Yes, okay, that's perfect. So DB works. We're gonna change every rectal DB to DB. This one as well. This one as well. This one here as well. And this one here as well. Okay, so as I said before, I'm aware that this is probably not the best way to code this. I'm really aware of that. But I think this is the easiest. So inside run, we can actually do then we run try await query on DB. Probably, I think. Let's check this really quick. So you're complaining about can't find DB in scope. Oh, let DB equal to database, just like this. Constant DB used before initialized. Do we have to make this equal to? Oh, wait a second. This has to be database with this probably. Nope. Yes, we want to use that one. Okay, then we can take that away. Does this work? As database. Let's see if this works. As I said, I never did this before, so I have no idea if this is actually gonna work. I truly have no idea. But let's see what they do now. Okay, so they don't really have like a return thingy here. So context .application.db. Okay, so wait a second. Then we can actually, instead of this, let's see if this actually works. So we're gonna take this one, and we're gonna take the context dot application.db. So if this is the same as database, then it actually should work. Okay. So we actually don't need to do anything, and now we can actually run the Safari. Let me check one more time. Yes, we did that. And okay, so here we can actually do this every second. Okay, so you know what? Let's try this out. So we go to we go back to configure. Then we're gonna, instead of app.queues, we're gonna do, let me check, .schedule. Schedule is gonna be the publish job, then dot every second. I can't believe that this is gonna work like this. I really can't believe this. So let's go back one more time to job here, and in here let's actually do a print just to check out that it is invoked. So this function is invoked every second. Okay, so this runs. I did a complete clean, so I actually have to rebuild the what's this? Okay, there's an error in the package. Use Redis driver. There was one more mistake I saw. See? I'm gonna copy and paste this one really quick to make sure that I wrote it correctly. This one, do boom. Save it, and let's see what happens if we run it. Build operation is disabled. Okay, so the database of the system is now running. And let's see. Okay, so the publish job is actually, theoretically this should be running. I don't see any message. So let's go back to the publish job really quick. Okay, so I don't think the function is actually being invoked. So let's go really quick to our this one. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait a second. I think we forgot to actually activate the... 1 second. There was like this one setting that we have to add. This one. I think... Let me see. Start schedule job as an in-app process. Okay, yeah. So we have to actually paste this one inside the configure.swift as well. So we can actually add that here. Try app.queues. Start schedule jobs. So let's run this and let's see what happens. So this also means for the database or for the web server, I actually also need to set up a Redis server. It's actually I don't have a problem with that, but okay. So as you can see now, this function here, it's actually working. So the function is actually being invoked. So let's go to the publish job really quick. So it's actually running this function all the time. This function, and here it's actually printing all the guides. So what happens is, it actually checks now every second if there are actually guides, and if there are guides, we're actually gonna try to publish them. So I status is equal to status email publish the value. Try I.save on DB, and theoretically this should work. Oh my god, this is so crazy, huh? So crazy. But yeah, this is cool. Let's look at the memory usage really quick to see if there is any... okay, so at the moment it only uses like 5.2 megabytes of memory. And the reason why I actually wanted to check if this actually uses like a lot of yeah, how do you call this? To check if this actually uses a lot of memory or stuff, but I think it actually runs very well. So yeah, theoretically, I think we actually created a function where everything is getting published the moment when something is planned, and we actually save it. So yeah, that's actually really cool. So I think theoretically this should actually all run well. Let's make one more change to the articles and stuff here. Instead of putting them there, let's put all the queries on the top. X. And as stated before, I know it's not really coded in a beautiful way. I don't think it's actually good practice to add multiple... yeah, I don't think it's actually right what we're doing, but what we can actually do here, I'm actually gonna add an else statement here, and we can actually do like a print. No planned guides found. Let's also add this one in here, the else. Then we have no planned articles. And we can actually do like, okay. We're also gonna add them here, else. No courses. And last but not least in sessions, else. This is gonna be sessions. This way we can actually check if all the for loops are actually called. Theoretically they should be called, it shouldn't make any difference. But it's just to make sure. But if this actually works like how we actually are doing it, this is actually really cool. Really cool. Okay, so the function is actually invoked. Oh, wait a second. I think there's actually they don't even call the for because there is nothing in there. I think. Oh well, at least I think we actually wrote like a very nice system here. And yeah, let's cancel this. Okay, so this was a really long video. I never done this before. I never built like a scheduled job system. But the coolest thing is now we know how it works. Now we know how it works. we can actually create in the next video, we can create a second job where we actually check if a user is subscribed or not, or if his subscription is ending or not. So this actually means that if the subscription is active till the date of today, and we can actually run this one once a day, maybe every morning at 8 o'clock, for example. And if the date ends today, then we actually change the status back to registered. So this is actually really cool. At the end of the series, we're actually going to test this out, if this actually works. But for now, I'm going to end this video because this video has been long enough. So yeah, that was actually really cool because as stated before, I really never made a job system like this before. And actually reading a little bit of documentation actually helped a lot. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you learned something like I did today. And let's go to the next video.